Hi guys, welcome back to Lewis on Film. I am Lewis, and yesterday I went to the cinema with my nieces and we went to see Disney's Cruella starring Emma Stone. Let's take a look. So, now that the cinemas are back, it means inevitably Disney is back in business and it's back doing a rehash of some of their old material once again, but in this case we get kind of an original look, I suppose, at Cruella DeVil, wonderfully played by Emma Stone, and her backstory. Who she is, why she became so evil, I guess, and it starts from her younger years as an orphan to becoming a street grifter with aspirations of being a fashion designer. And in this ruthless world of fashion, she matches wits with a designer called the Baroness, played by Emma Thompson, and she tries to infiltrate her world and knock her off her perch. The good here. So, okay, first of all, Emma Stone is all eyes on her for playing Cruella DeVil, and she's able. The fact that she's able to upstage Emma Thompson at every turn is to be commended. They're both absolutely wonderful, and they're clearly having a fantastic time. But the pair of them just basically have a back and forth of who is the most cunning, and more than. But even that's even in the story that is the case. But on a professional level, you've got Emma Thompson saying I'm the better actress, and then Emma Stone says I think not, I'm the better actress, and they try to upstage each other at every turn, and both clearly, as I say, having the time of their lives in this one, and yeah, they make it work. It's. The thinness of it all is possibly one to be argued, but they're both clearly having a great time. It is, of course, directed by Craig Gillespie, who he's made commendable stuff. He directed I, Tonya. He did Finest Hours a few years ago, $1 Million Arm, which another Disney film, Lars and the Real Girl, which was an interesting sort of indie flick. He's not the name on the label I was expecting to see, but the more I watched it, the more I thought about it, the more I realised, oh yeah, no, this is very Craig Gillespie actually. As I say, $1 Million Arm, Disney film. I, Tonya, someone who's a female-led, someone who's incredibly fierce and uses backhanded tactics to climb the ranks. Even the fact that Walter Hauser is the one of the bad guys in it. He's again, clearly having a good time in that role. So yeah, it made sense. The more I thought about it, it made sense. Its costumes, given that it's a film about fashion and designing clothes and all that, the costumes here are incredible. An early Oscar contender for best costume, in my opinion. The sets design is really good. It's completely believable, kind of a mixed bag of retro and modern. Some of the sets do feel kind of familiar. It's filmed in London, and the studio where they design. Where they do the clothing design, it's the same building that was the factory in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. No consequence to how good or bad the film is, but just it was difficult to look past as soon as I recognised it. So yeah, it's fun. It's Disney being Disney and having a good Disney time, getting reacquainted with a classic villain. Maleficent was very different. It's a story about a villain, and you kind of expected it to go one way, and they spun it on its head completely and went a different way. They don't quite go in a completely crazy direction on this case, but still, it's a fun film. It's fun. So here's the thing: the plot twist, if we can call it that, it isn't really a good twist. It's a necessary one. I think it's handled okay. but it could have been done with a bit more mystery, I think. Now, me being me, and me being a massive Disney fan, saw clean through the facade. From the very first moment it was even a thing, I saw clean through it. And they tried to disguise it. No, I wasn't having it. I knew exactly where it was going. And yeah, I took my nieces to see it and my partner to see it as well. They didn't guess what was coming. So, you know, swings and roundabouts on that one, but I saw clean through it. I guess it did, I want to say it did spoil it a little bit for me, but still, I was having enough fun to not care. Which is kind of commendable for how enjoyable the film is. The overall thing, like the sort of plot that Emma Stone tries to, her cunning plan, if you like, to upstage the Baroness. It's way too elaborate, and you know, you're allowed to suspend disbelief, sure. And I just think it gets a bit too silly. However, to be fair, by the time you get to the end, you sort of, yeah, okay, what silly thing are they going to come up with next? And they do it, and they somehow manage to make it work. So, yeah, fair enough, I guess. It swings and roundabouts on that one. It does undermine the next step, which would be the 101 Dalmatians film, I think. I guess you could say the older she gets, the more evil she gets, maybe, or more ruthless she gets. I guess you could argue that. And I think it would have been easier to swallow had Emma Stone taken one specific extra step that she doesn't take in the film. I think if she'd have taken it, it would have been more. It would have been easier to see past it and look at 101 Dalmatians and go, "Oh, yeah, I see how she became that person." But yeah, no, the fact that she sort of backtracks on it doesn't really make it fit, in my opinion. Well, overall, I enjoyed it. It's enjoyable. I like all the foreshadowing that I saw clean through aside. I knew exactly what was coming, and it didn't take up. I saw everything that was coming, but it did not take away from the enjoyment. I took my nieces to see it. They really enjoyed it. It's rated 12A for mild threat, which is what it says. But I do understand that, but it's not nearly as bad as some of the stuff I remember growing up with that was rated PG. So I guess that's just a change in the times, perhaps. But the absolute best thing about it is both Emmas. It's the Emma and Emma, the Emma show is this one. Emma Stone as Cruella, absolutely brilliant, and Emma Thompson just matching her beat for beat as the Baroness. Both of them bouncing incredibly well off each other. It's terrific to watch. They're both clearly having a fantastic time. So yeah, they are by far the best thing about it. I guess the film kind of compares in a sort of strange way to The Devil Wears Prada in that regard. I can see a lot of influence from that being a thing, as well as other things, which I'm sure you'll pick up on and just get, oh, that's from that and that's from that. The soundtrack's wonderful as well. I need to mention that. Absolutely terrific sort of again retro soundtrack. Yeah. It's fun. It really is. It's fun. I think the adults will enjoy it for the soundtrack and the references elsewhere in Emma Thompson, and I think the kids will enjoy it for the kind of shenanigans and the slapstickery of it. It's fun. Thank you very much, folks. Don't forget to subscribe. Next, we are going to look at The Conjuring 3. I'm going to see it tomorrow. Check back soon. See ya.